Alright, so this video has to do with probability. Here we go. Probability is a measure of how probable it is an event will occur, and probabilities usually range between 0 and 1, or 0% and 100%. If its probability is 1 or 100%, it's definitely going to happen. If it's 0, it's not going to happen ever. If it's a half or 50%, it might happen. Then you have 75 hundredths, or it's 3/4 or 75%. There's a strong chance. 25 hundredths, 25%, 1/4. It's not very likely to happen, but it could happen. So let's say tomorrow would be Friday. Well, today's Wednesday, so the probability tomorrow would be Friday would be 0. It's not going to happen. Pizza will be served for lunch today. Maybe it could happen. The sky will darken tonight. It's definitely going to happen when the sun goes down. There will be a snow day tomorrow. Not very likely, but it is Texas. What about you're going to have homework tonight? There's a strong chance it's going to happen. So what other examples can you think of? That's going to be a part of your WIS form. And that's what other examples you can think of with probability in your life. Experimental data, or experimental probability, is going to be data collected through observations or experiences. And each result from the experiment is called an event. So the number of times an event occurs divided by the total number of experiments is going to be the probability. And probability, to sum it up, is basically what you want over the total. So let's say we're shooting this basketball. It's the number of times an event occurs over the total number of experiments. So let's say I want to score the basket, because that's the goal of basketball. What I want is to make the basket over the total shots I have taken. So let's say my first shot here. Oh, didn't work. So I have 0 baskets that I scored or made, but I've taken 1 shot. So now I try again and I make the shot. So now I've had 1 basket made, but I've taken 2 shots. So the probability of making the basket is 50%. Try again. Oh, didn't happen. So now my probability has gone down because I've only made 1 shot, but I've taken 3. Theoretical probability is just when you're thinking about it. You don't actually have to go shoot the basketball, you don't actually have to flip the coin, nothing. You just think about it. So a penny has 2 sides, and you can flip the coin for probability, heads or tails. So the probability of heads would be 1 out of 2 because there's 2 total sides. And the probability of tails is 1 over 2. So we're going to stop there and move to some examples. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this short because I know some people don't like those long. So we're just going to do 4 examples of probability, and then we'll be doing a lot more examples in class. So the first thing I want to remind you is probability is going to be what you want over the total. So my first question is, what is the probability of picking a red die? So here we go. We have these die right here, or dice. And it says, what's the probability of picking a red die? So what we want is the red. So first of all, you have to figure out how many red do I have. 1, 2, 3. So what I want is the 3 red. Then I have to think about what I need as far as the total. How many do I have total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my probability of picking red would be 3 out of 10. Then it says, what about the green die? So now I want the probability of green. So what I want is green. So how many greens do I have? 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 greens. And my total, of course, is 10. So if I think about 5 out of 10, I'm going to say I need to simplify that. And I'll get 1/2. So my probability of picking green would be 1/2 because green makes up half of the dice. Well, what about a white die? So now I need the probability of white. I have 2 whites out of 10 total. That would be 1 out of 5, 1/5. Okay, 3 out of 10 would be 30%, so I have a 30% chance of picking red. 1/2 would be 50%. I have 50% chance of picking green, and 1/5 would be a 20% chance of picking white. So altogether it adds up to 100%. Okay, so what is the probability of picking a green or a red? So probability of green or red. So what you want is you want a green or a red. So how many do you have there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of total, which is 10. Let's simplify that. Which would be 4/5, which would be 80%. So you have an 80% chance of picking red or green, which is a pretty good chance. And these two questions are called a simple event. You're just basically calculating one probability ratio, so one fraction, and then you're done. The next two are going to be a compound event. So that means you're going to have to do more than one probability ratio. So what is the probability of picking a red die, replacing it, and then picking a green die? So you want red, then green. So you have to break that up. So what's the probability I'm going to pick red? So I had 3 red out of 10 total. So I'm going to pick this red, and then I would say, oh, cool, a red. And then I'm going to put them back, and then I need to pick a green. So for the green, I say, well, what's the probability I'm going to get a green? Well, there's 5 of them. I'll take any of those 5 green. So 5 out of 10. And then I need to multiply. Now before I multiply, I'm going to simplify that to make my life easier. 5 over 10 is 1/2. 3 times 1 is 3. 10 times 2 is 20. I got a 3 in 20 chance, or probability, of picking a red then a green. So if I pick 20 times, 3 times I'd get red and then green. So that's a compound event. It's kind of like a compound sentence. When you take two sentences and you put them together, compound event with probabilities, you're taking two probabilities and you put them together. The last question we're going to do here: what is the probability of picking a white die, throwing it away, and then picking a green die? So let's think. Okay, the probability is what you want over the total. What we want are the white die. So the probability of picking white would be 2 out of 10. Then, sorry about that. Okay, so probability of picking the white die is 2 out of 10. So I'm going to pick this white one, and then I'm going to throw it away. It's gone. So now, I want to find the probability of picking a green die. So now, what I want is green, and I have 5 green, over my total. Well, you see now my total is not 10 because I threw 1 away. I have 1 less. So my total is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you see these type of problems a lot when they talk about eating food, because you can't put the food back after you ate it. So now I just multiply. Before I multiply, I'm going to simplify 2 over 10 to 1/5. So 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 9 is 45. Divide out of 5. 45 divided by 5 would be 9. So I have a 1 in 9 chance. So that's not going to happen very often. Okay, so this is the probability video, and like I said, do the WISC form, and we will be working on it more in class.